Looking a little stressful out here today. This is the first day in a while that I've actually looked at a Bitcoin chart, and dude, I'm not really liking what I'm seeing. Have you seen the chart recently? Have you taken a look at it?
I have to be honest. I have not taken a deeper look into like the structure and the flows behind at all, just like very superficially. But I have run a couple of analyses independently with my agent, and I have to tell you something. It is not looking good, indeed. Um,
No.
we're gonna keep it real, right? And we're going to introduce some good news from our side, and we're perhaps discuss what we are going to be doing in regards to this situation, right?
100%.
What do you think about that plan, Trav?
I think that's a great plan. I think we need to, like, as per tradition, be honest and open with our community. We know we've definitely both. Well, I've definitely done some research to see what the heck is going on with Bitcoin. The biggest question that I had and that I've seen going around the timeline is this legitimate? Are institutions actually dumping, or is this some sort of a ploy to just send Bitcoin right back up to previous levels here? And, yeah, I'm ready to give you guys the absolute honest answer when it comes to that here. So yeah, and then I think that's probably a great way to pivot. Let's start with the harsh truth, maybe the bad news, if you will, and then let's get into the good news. How the heck are we adapting to this? What are we gonna do about it? Are we gonna sit in the corner and cry, Quantic, or are we actually going to pull up our pants and get some work done here?
We're going to push harder. And this is the exact same thing that I do every time things get difficult. And people who know me and work with me directly, including yourself, know that this is the only way. Like, I'm gonna go harder on the chats, harder on launching stuff. This week, I was able to launch a new thing with Proofrails, and also great news. We were invited to pitch at a banking event. Like, imagine that. So we're making progress, and the people who work hard and never stop building, I think they make it eventually. Like, I don't know the details about the market. I don't know if all the things I'm doing are gonna work. I don't know if what we are doing with Web3 Matters is gonna work. But I'm gonna keep pushing harder and harder for as long as I can. And you know what? With Web3 Matters, we have survived it, right? Do you remember what was like our worst time during the market with Web3 Matters? How was that
Oh
like
man.
for you, man?
Oh, dude, yeah, that was a shock. I honestly felt like the rug was being pulled out, not even just like underneath crypto, but at that point we'd put at least a year of effort into Web3 Matters. And then when FTX collapsed and I remember Solana went down to $8, man, it was worrisome. It was worrisome. But you know what? The biggest thing from that is we never stopped. We kept on going, we kept on providing value just to a smaller audience, and that was almost even better. And sure enough, crypto prevailed, people prevailed. And why do I think that is because crypto was built in the first place to level up the playing field, to give opportunity to everyone, not just the top 1% in the world. And I have full faith that, people will rise above once again here. And we've been proving that time and time again. After that FTX collapse, of course, Bitcoin and Solana and all the main tokens, made brand new all-time highs. And now here we are. Things are looking a little bloody again. But the one thing is for sure, we've learned from our previous experiences. We are here to stay. We're here to continue to deliver value. How about you? How is it for you during the last bloody time in crypto Quantic?
So wait, first of all, I was checking the socials. No one had yet plugged in, at least on X. So we need to do the work now and reshare that because, this is another thing that happens, by the way, when the market crashes. If you're not talking about the most viral thing in crypto, which is going to be negative at this moment, the algorithm is just going to crash you. So to be honest, this week, I'm barely even bothering at posting on social media because I know everything's gonna get truncated, and I'm like, you know what? I'm building stuff, so it's fine. And but unfortunately, this of course affect us a lot at Web3 Matters, and we need to make sure we get the distribution that we have been working on behind the scenes. So let's please give a reshare if you're watching this right now. Okay, now we have some people. As soon as we started resharing, we got some people in the room. This is because sometimes the algo, when you are in this type of situations, just completely kills you. Meaning that it's not showing you this. Like I had to go through my account and then search for the Web3 Matters account just to see the post. And this is very
Wow.
concerning from a platform that is supposedly about free speech and whatever. Like it is not cool, right? But regardless, we're here to build, we're here to communicate with our audience, and we are asking you just a simple favor of liking, engaging with the post, and giving a reshare because it has been brutal. So if you're in crypto right now, anything you post is going to get completely slashed, unless it's about how bad we are like doing as a space and whatnot. To your question, Trav, your question was, what is the worst moment I remember or what?
Or how was it? How was your experience during the first kind of FTX crash, the first bloody bear market experience?
Dude, it was scary. And I want to be honest with the 10 people that are watching us right now. It was one of the most scariest moments for me because I was down bad. And at the same time, I just left physics to start like full time in crypto. So it was like I was doing a hard pivot. Uh, and I had my family to protect and to take care of. I do this hard pivot sometime after things are very uncertain, things are going down. It didn't look great. um, at the same time, I saw this post from Vitalik saying that some very smart people were saying that Solana is going to be fine or that they are pushing whatever. And at that time, I like, you know what, I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to grab a significant bag, significant for my levels at that time, in crypto, and I'm gonna get a bunch of Solana. And I did that at $8. And because I
Wow.
did that, uh, today I'm in a very comfortable position. And I can only say now that you can take advantage of this type of opportunity if you have done your research and the hard job of curating your circles, curating your sources of information, and more importantly, having a plan B for your funds. So if you're all in crypto, I do not recommend that. I think that you have to be very careful about that. But regardless, Trav, I think we're on time to start sharing perhaps some updates from the market perspective. You have prepared some charts. Do you have something from Sentient? What is it that is going on your end?
Perfect. So first of all, yeah, let's. I've got a whole bunch of information here. Think, and no, it's I'm going to warn our audience here. It's not the best news, but it's important that we are all aware of exactly what's going on. No punches held. So let's take a quick look at the chart here. This is the weekly chart. Look at this massive freaking continuous red engulfing candle here that we are in the middle of right now. It's not good. We've made a new local low and we are actually make going lower as we speak here. This is our lowest low since October 7th, 2024. So it's sucks to see. It sucks to see. I'm not a fan of this whatsoever. If we go on to the daily chart, we can see that for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, we have been making lower lows to the point where we are here now. Now, one thing just that I've noticed here is I don't have, let's see, do I have volume on here? I do have volume on here. And actually, you know what? That's different on this chart than it was on the last chart. So you never what maybe I'll hold off on that. But essentially on another chart that I was looking here, the most volume that I saw so far was on this candle here. And of all these candles, this one here is the most bullish. So it definitely seems like some people at least are taking advantage of these lows and are trying to buy the bottom. But we can also see the next candle right here, it blew right past it. So just, to warn everyone, trying to buy the bottom unless you really know what you're doing and have a ton of experience and have like a very firm thesis, definitely wouldn't recommend that. But of course, not financial advice here. But yeah, it's like this is kind of brutal here. Um, so let's pull up the research. Let's do a little bit of a summary here. So first of all, where is Bitcoin right now? So Bitcoin is trading around 62,500 after dipping below 62,000 and touching roughly 61,300. You can see now that we've already gone lower than that. It's down about 15% on the week and roughly 50% off the October 2025 all-time high, near 126,000. So the fear and greed index is sitting at 12, which is extreme fear. Obviously, over $1.5 billion in leveraged positions got liquidated in 24 hours. The vast majority of those being longs. This is real. This is a deep drawdown and not a 1 day wick. So the question that I really wanted to answer, because I actually saw some misinformation on the timeline here that I wanted to just verify, and that that post was that it mentioned that institutions are buying, they have record highs, they've been accumulating all of these ETFs while everyone else is dumping. I wanted to double check that. And this is this the what I found is saying the complete opposite. So basically, the metrics I saw, which is institutions buying ETFs and Bitcoin at high levels throughout all of this, does not hold up against the current data. It may have been accurate for an earlier window, um, but here's what's actually happening. So ETF flows are sharply negative, not positive. US spot Bitcoin ETFs just recorded their largest ever single week net outflow event, which is significant, around 3.4 to 3.5 billion across an 11 session streak, which is wild. The biggest withdrawal since they launched back in 2024. So BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale all saw significant redemptions, which means they saw that, people were selling. Total ETF AUM dropped roughly 104 billion to 94 billion over about 10 days. This is institutional money leaving, not entering. Now, the next important thing, we're looking at um, whales and sharks. So whales were net sellers, not buyers. This also goes against what I saw on that post. So per sentiment, whales and sharks offloaded about over 24,000 Bitcoin in a single week, which directly contributed to the 13% price drop. Glassnode data shows the count of approximately or over 1,000 Bitcoin entities peaked at 1,285 on May 22nd and fell to 12,079 by late May, roughly $440 million in concentrated selling. Interestingly, the retail people, so small traders like all of us, was the group accumulating the dip. So this is absolutely what you don't want to see. When the whales are selling and the retail market is buying, that is an extremely bearish sentiment. And this tells me that we're going to continue to see lower lows here.
Okay, so
Um,
let's just put a pause here because
yeah,
it was long, man. We need to keep it. I want to get to the bottom of this, to the heart of people, and tell them what the fuck is going on. So you're telling me ETF people are pulling out their money. That's
yeah.
what you're telling me, if I'm
The people who
understanding
matter,
correctly.
who will move the markets, are pulling out their money.
They are pulling out them. And what are they doing with this money? We
I
don't
don't know.
know.
It's not
Okay,
in Bitcoin, that's for sure.
that's for sure. Okay, so big institutions, they're pulling away their money from Bitcoin at this stage. And also you are telling me that whales are selling
Hmm.
and that retail is buying.
Yes.
And why is this bad?
This is bad because retail doesn't move the markets. The whales do. What
Okay,
whales do will send price up or down, and the retail has nowhere near enough power to actually um, influence which direction the market goes. So if the whales are selling, price is going to continue to go down. And even if retail buys, it's not going to be powerful enough to stop that from continuing to
right.
go down.
So they keep buying, and they keep seeing the price going lower and lower, and at some point they panic sell as well because it hurts.
Yeah,
Um, I get it. So how low are we gonna go?
that's a good question. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think for that, I'd have to take a look at a chart and really kind of do some technical analysis from there. What I can tell you is that right now we are definitely hitting. Let's pull up the weekly chart again here real quick. So I definitely see some strong, like the 50,000 level is going to be. Sorry, is my chart still on?
It is. It
It
is.
is. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. So the 50,000 level is going to be, the real. Uh, it's the most important level that we're going to see. If price gets below that, I unfortunately can see. Let me just move my screen. Getting back all the way down to 40,000, and if we hit below that, I can see us hitting 30,000 again. I am
Okay.
really
So
hoping that
you're
50K will
telling me,
hold.
wow. So you're telling me here that technical analysis would tell you that right now there is no fundamental to wait for Bitcoin to recover at this stage, and you can expect this to go as low as 50K and then 40K or what?
So, just purely based on the chart and based on actually what I just said as well, the fact that like the biggest players in Bitcoin are not buying, they are just they are selling. I could see us I could see us going down as low as 50K right now. That's 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 my realistic answer to that. And if 50K doesn't hold, then we're in for some more hurt. That's what I see.
And what are you going to do, Trav?
Well, right now I am very poor. So I don't have a whole lot of money in crypto at the moment. Most of it is in stables. But my plan is to take advantage of this. Like you said, going into this conversation there, Quantic, is that this is an opportunity. Nothing changes about my views, my fundamental views on crypto, on Bitcoin. I do believe that it is here to stay. I do believe that we will continue to see higher highs in the future, whether that's months time, weeks time, years time. So I do plan on eventually, like once liquidity starts to arrive in my life here, to start taking advantage of these lower prices because I missed the Solana at $8, and I have been very much regretting that since. I promised myself I would not miss out on this opportunity if it were ever to arise again. And you know what? We've got an opportunity coming here, so time to take action. So that's my personal plan. No financial advice, of course, on that, but based on my own research, based on my values and morals when it comes to Bitcoin and why it's here, that is my plan. How about you?
So everyone has a different situation, right? So I
Mhm.
want people to take advice knowing the situation the people that are sharing it are, right? Because it's not the same that I'm telling you, hey, buy the dip when, I'm all in and I need you to buy it, than telling you buy the dip and I don't even have exposure. It's a completely different situation. You see what I mean?
Mhm.
On my end, what I do is I have an amount of my wealth on crypto and an amount outside. So if everything goes to zero with crypto, I'm gonna survive. My family is protected. That's my first goal and my priority. And I'm fortunate enough to say we are fine, right? That being said, I care, I work in crypto all the time. So I do want it to go as far as possible and I want to invest as far as I can without, of course, going to zero. So I'm gonna keep adding. Short answer.
Nice, man. And I think that's very realistic. As long as you don't invest more than you're willing to lose, which of course is the best advice I can give anyone. Yeah, do what works for you and your family. Now, one last thing I wanted to end off with is I also found an interesting piece of information here is that apparently there's also genuine analyst disagreement about whale data. And then apparently one recurring finding from crypto quants Julio Moreno is that apparently whale accumulation signals sometimes are just exchanges consolidating wallets. So that could that could basically alter what's actually happening, and there may not necessarily be as much selling or buying than what it appears to be. So I'm just saying that because even though I said what I said, doesn't 100% mean that, that's actually the situation. That's actually what's going to happen. There is part of me that also, is open to the idea that this could all just be a bluff and Bitcoin might just like recover very quickly, go the opposite direction, and then start, just faking out the market, which it is historically done a lot of times here. So just, I know things seem bad, but the one thing I do know 100% is that Bitcoin is extremely unpredictable. So just be ready for anything and go all in on something because, you know, often that's what the market likes to do. Make people bleed. So maybe I'll end off with that here.
Good. Okay, Trav. So today's topic of conversation, I'm so glad that you shared this because it's the perfect segue, is about if agents can save crypto or how, if that's even a possibility. Now, what do you think about this stuff? Because on the one side, we're seeing AI going parabolic and crypto going to zero. So, it just makes sense to think, well, maybe there is a world in which all of this agentic thing that is happening will one way or another connect to crypto and make it better because we do know that crypto has some solutions that are objectively superior, aka moving stable coins across borders. Like this is widely accepted, all institutions are on board, everyone is working on this. This is the main way in which we are going to go mainstream. But then the question is, what happens with agents? So I would like to hear from you, Trav. While we pull, I think we should show the app that we have been working on. What do you think about that as well?
I completely agree. Absolutely. Let's show that here. And to answer your question here, first of all, I just want to say I completely agree with you. I think moving stables across borders helps way more than just institutions. It helps people in the world from, for example, third world countries who face daily barriers between themselves and their local fiat currency. And stable coins is a massive solution to this. Instead of having to wait hours in line at a bank and then get these tremendous fees to withdraw their funds that have since devalued in price for the local currency since standing in line. That's a massive barrier for a lot of people, and stable coins offers them a solution to this with things and to kind of break down that barrier of accessibility to money to survive, to support their family. It truly is a huge opportunity for so many people. So to agents, my thought on that is that the thing that I'm super bullish on and the thing that really like my thought process that really supports the idea that yes, agents can save crypto is the fact that they are so freaking accessible to pretty much everyone these days. Like if you have $20 a month, you can essentially set up your agent. And if you have the will and the time and the desire, not you don't even need that much time, which is the crazy thing. You can use an AI agent to interact with crypto so you can make money in whatever capacity that is. And I believe that as more time goes by, as that process gets easier and easier, as AI gets more powerful, that's going to be the reality for more and more people. So yeah, absolutely. Do I think that it has the possibility to save crypto, especially with these new protocols coming into play as well, like X402, that ERC one. I don't remember which one that is, but things are happening. Developments are being made to basically blend AI and crypto, and I'm super bullish on that.
Right. I have news for you, Trav. Good news.
Ooh,
You
let's hear
see,
it.
we have bad news and we have good news. The bad news is about the market. The good news is about what you can do about it. And now that you are connecting the dots to the agentic era, which is inevitable and is already here, uh, I want us to show with I want us to talk with the rest of the people and with starting with you, an honest conversation about how this will look like in crypto in action. So we have an app to show, right?
Yes.
It's you can go and visit right now theshipguile.com and you will see it. Would you mind putting that on the screen so that we can go over some reactions here?
Perfect. Okay, spell it out for me so our audience can know.
Oh, theshipguile.com. That's not a spelling out, but I think you get it.
Hold on. Okay, call myself out for being very slow this morning. Is it in the chat? Is it in our Telegram chat?
Let me share it with you
Thank you.
on your Telegram DM. You have the link there. So
There
this
it
is our
is.
current level, man. We don't even know the apps that we launch. We don't even know the links. Our social media manager, I asked it what happened with today's promotion. He was like, yeah, we're out of touch. So you know what? This is the fucking problem, and this is why we are at zero, which is we do not focus when we should be focusing. Right now we have the best opportunity to make more money because people are panic selling. You already know they are going to continue to sell. How about we do something about it? We focus and we are in a stronger position later.
I am down for that, my friend. I am definitely
but
down for that.
But the good news, Rob, here comes the good news, which is you do have to focus and you do have to worry, but not that much. Because in the
Okay.
future, I think we are gonna leave AI agents to lead us, even in crypto.
Expand on that.
Let me explain on that. What you have in front of you, it's going to be our central hub for development of utilities and activities in relation to our token chip, which, by the way, I was advised by Grok to start posting more about the ticker and the contract because it is not being picked up on social media and by Grok system. It is not indexed because we never talk about this shit. So you see, we have another problem there, and even the AI can see it. So they're gonna fix
Okay.
it for us.
On
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
though, that one's a tough one because you just started off our conversation today by saying that any crypto content gets nerfed. So what's
Yes.
the solution to that? Like, how do we? Is that the solution? That the fact that it hasn't been picked up yet, so we can talk about it?
Okay. So I love that you are pushing back with this because this is exactly the same issues that I had to deal with to
Yeah.
understand what's really happening. Okay, so point A, the algorithm is not rewarding anyone creating any crypto content unless it's the main viral thing, which is usually a hack, Bitcoin going to zero, or something along those ways, right?
Mhm.
Very toxic kind of content. If you're really a real creator, you don't want to get there. So it's like you're kind of fucked if you're a creator in crypto right now. Okay,
Mhm.
point one. Point two, I asked Grok, hey, how are we doing with our project with chip and everything? And he gave me an honest review. I don't have it here at hand. I should have prepared that. But bottom line, no one knows shit about this because we don't even talk and we are not even indexed on the system of Grok. You know that X now has a feature for adding cash tags, right?
Okay.
We
This is
have
news to
that
me.
and we could use that, but it's not being picked up. First of all, chip is a very complicated uh, tag because it's used by other projects. That's fine, but not even with the contract we can find it. And
Mm.
the reason is because we have never had anyone with sufficient momentum sharing this information. So
Right.
then comes the contradiction, which is on the one side, you know that the algorithm is not going to favor you if you're doing stuff with crypto. On the other side, you are having literally the same AI telling you, you know what, you're not visible because you don't talk about this stuff. So
Yeah.
here comes the choice, Trav, and I ask you and our audience about what to do, which is should we go ahead and start talking about this more explicitly, promoting more, knowing that this is going to impact your reach at the expense of never, gaining visibility or perhaps even becoming a ban?
Hmm. That's a tough one because on the one hand, we've already been nerfed. Our reach has already been, very much held back. This week, actually, we had a really successful week. We finally have had a pretty consistent week of breaking out of the or breaking out of our rut because of some of the content we've been pushing. So on the one hand, whether this is a sustainable change, I doubt it. I think that the reason why our reach has been good is because we've had some good accounts supporting our content. Like shout out to you, Eric from Hermes World, who joined us last week, who's been helping to amplify our content. That's been huge. So I guess, knowing that our account is already pretty nerfed, how much worse could it get by talking
Right.
about ship? However, you mentioned a potential ban. That worries me because that would that'd be the worst case scenario. All of the work that
I
we've
love
done
it.
having to start from scratch.
I love it. I love that you're running through this analysis live with all the people watching right now,
Hmm.
and that you are arriving essentially to the same types of conclusions that I arrived at. Obviously, I want to talk about my work. I obviously want to talk about our project. I want to share the ticker and everything, but I know it's just I just can't, or
Yeah.
it's like too much trouble. So I talked about this with my agent, and it suggested why not given the lead of this to an agent, right? The agent
Mm.
works 24/7. The agent doesn't care about if it could get banned or not, and it's actually smarter about the algorithm, and it can bypass that by not directly shilling, but rather soft promoting, I guess, or something like that. It can come up with its own strategy. It can build, right? Because we also, we have the problem of you have an asset, you want to give it utility, you want to expand your holder base. How do you solve that? The answer is what you see on your screen, which is this app, shipguile.com. If you go to theshipguile.com, you will find it. We're going to be sharing about this from our own accounts as well, so no worries about it. But the point being that the agent concluded that we need to have a central hub for holders, for believers in our project, and that has like all the utilities, but also has all the DGen stuff for meme coiners and all that. So I want to walk us through that for a moment, Trav, but I want to show you now how it fixed the previous issue that we have. Remember that
Mhm.
you were not able to unlock your magic resources that we had before?
Yes.
Can you please try and connect your Phantom wallet uh, where it says connect wallet and then try to unlock your surprise?
Okay. So awkward. I do not have a Phantom wallet on my PC. So I cannot do that now.
Let's
Uh,
let's change. Let's change. Let me do
okay,
that for you.
go for it.
Uh, okay, but now you will have to explain why you don't have a Phantom wallet. By the way, did you move all your coins out of that computer to install Hermes, or are you still living on a cage and you don't know how to use agents for real?
The second one. I
The
I
second.
have I do not know for real. Although, okay. Well, no, no, let's not try and sweep that under the rug. I haven't done it yet. Crypto's still on the computer, and I have not activated an agent at this point. However, I have been doing research, so I am more informed about it, and I've been doing some mental prep. So better than nothing, but pretty much nothing.
And what have you concluded out of your research?
That I absolutely need to make it happen. Like,
You are
especially
absolutely living in the stone age if you don't have agents. Please clip that. If you're not running with an agent like OpenClaw or Hermes, you are living in the past. Like, it just doesn't make sense not to have one in your computer and start getting shit done for
yes,
you and start having all the things working in the way it should be. It's crazy.
it's crazy. I feel crazy. Quantic, while you're on that, what are the top 3 ways you use your, agents on a day-to-day basis? Go.
Super simple. I use my AI agents for three things. Number one, research. I do a lot of research on crypto, on AI, on how to build. Number two, coding. I ask my agent to code, but of course you can do that with any other tool at this time. So it is not only coding, but it has an entire product team, a strategy, and all of that. So it's broader. It's building a product essentially. So we have two things: a research, and we have building products. And the third one is distribution, right? I need to distribute this stuff, and for that, I need content. Right now, I'm not at the position in which I trust the content that is creating, but it does help me correct my grammar, improve my flow, give me ideas and stuff like that. So those are the three things I can assure you is going to completely change your life if you do that with an agent that is living in your computer like Hermes instead of just having ChatGPT.
I love it. I love it. Actually, one exciting thing that I can say on that is you mentioned that you still don't trust the content from your agent, and you know what? I completely agree. It's still a lot of it still sounds very much like AI, and I really want to not just push out just classic AI slop here, but I actually
Exactly.
had a really good post that it just seemed to, like, completely hit the mark that Claude made for me the other day, and it took a ton of work, and it took a ton of just over time, just tweaking and, making these, changes to, like, a markdown file that I was making in terms of how I want AI to make content for me, but finally, we got to a point where it just knocked it out of the park, and it was awesome. So it's possible. Just takes a lot of
It's
work and
possible,
consistency.
but you need to put a lot of work. And today we're going to talk about that and how you can make it work.
Mhm,
Because this is, look, I don't want to be a jerk, right? When I'm
mhm.
saying, hey, you need to get your Hermes. But if you really want to work in the way the future is going to look like, which are these markdown files in which our self-improvement agents, they just get track of all the things that we are doing and complete all the tasks and share all the context with other agents. um, it's just gonna be, it's so different from not
Mhm.
doing that right now. So it is so different that once you cross that line, you're not gonna go back. You're not gonna go back to use like ChatGPT or just Cloud Code once you really start going forward with these agentic systems. Okay, and what I'm arguing here today, in regards to all these issues about crypto and the agents, is that we can build an agent, specialized agent, to guide us and guide our project in the correct direction, knowing everything that's happening in the world, knowing what we want, like you and I, Trav, as founders of this stuff, and knowing what we need from the community, because none of this is going to work if we don't have an active community. So the solution from the point of view of the agent, this was not me, was to create an app that brings together the community and that we as founders utilize to showcase what you can do, what you can get, and attract all the attention and all our work, drive it towards this. This is the reason why this is so important. And it has been built completely autonomously by an agent. Meaning I just have the command controls to say, yes, do it, or not, do not do that, and and the agent is just pushing stuff. Like, okay, right now, what happened is that I have connected my wallet and I have a rank, right? So the first thing that the agent was able to infer is that we need to introduce a gamified system for the community so that we all have a rank, we all have, some sort of belonging sentiment to this community that we are creating with the ship guild, right? And we work towards that. Okay, so you do not need to actually connect your wallet. You can actually verify by read only, by the way, if you're scared about this. But no worries, we have our own AI agent that takes care about security. So at this stage, this should be very secure. Um, Okay, and then you have information about the token. Of course, everybody, if you're gonna get a token, you have to have like the buy button there, and you can have access to the screener, blah blah blah, and then you can convert this, right? Because look, I have Castro, our social media manager. I asked him, hey, can we give a giveaway of $20 of chip to whatever? And he's like, yeah, we can. We have the funding. Okay, how much chip it is? And he answered like, this is hard to know, and I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? How is it going to be hard in the age of AI to know the conversion of tokens? So I told that to my agent, and my agent proactively built this feature, which is not finished yet. As you can see, the colors
Uh-huh.
here are not great, but the math is working, right? So if you
Nice.
want $20 of chip, you have to buy around this amount as of
This is
now,
actually
right?
pretty clean. I like this. I like the fact
It is
can
good.
you
It is
click
good. I
on
mean,
like the million, 100,000, 10,000 use my bag at the bottom? Oh
yeah,
yeah, look at that. That's
and
great.
you can use my bag. This is the amount I have. This is a test wallet, by the way.
Mhm,
Always when you interact with an app for the first time, use a test wallet.
mhm,
So I have like almost no soul and almost no dollars.
mhm,
Okay, now this is very important, which is what people are missing. Like I've been literally telling people, look, I have money in crypto, right? I have to park it some way. The best way for me to park my money is in places in which I'm doing something proactively to get something else out of it, right? So obviously I work at Flare, so I put money in there. That's not a secret. I
mhm,
hold Bitcoin and I believe in Bitcoin, so I put money in there every single month. And I hold SHIB. SHIB is my project. If things go well, this thing is going to grow, right? So the AI agent decided that it makes sense to put some math, blockchain math, like I call it, in front of people so they can see how things could look like, right?
mhm.
Again, none of this is financial advice, of course. Now, this is the interesting part, which is we are creators, right? You and I, Trav, have created a bunch of stuff that we have dispersed with links everywhere. We don't have a central place to share this with our community, right? All this research that we are doing, all this software, all this tool. Now, if you want to verify that, you can sign with your wallet. And once you do that, of course, you will get the information about your rank in this community, but you will also have access to the things that we are creating. Last week, we tried to show this. The agent didn't do a good job, right? It wasn't working as it should, uh, but now it is. So once I have done that, I can unlock a resource. What is this resource right now?
Nice.
This is the agentic economy, right? It's called Web3 Matters Research, the agentic economy at the intersection of autonomous intelligence and blockchain infrastructure. And this is no bullshit research. This is real curated research of the same type that I use to make my investment, to help my family and friends in diverse topics around AI and crypto. And it is like, if you look at the content here, it
Wow.
is very good and professional. Um,
Yeah, and may I remind our audience that to kind of validate that a little bit more is that Quantic has a literal PhD level of research experience. So this is absolutely no bullshit. Carry on, Quantic.
Yeah, no, absolutely no bullshit, but you don't need a PhD in order to do all of this stuff. I think that that's actually the main point, which is like
Mhm.
you can do PhD level things with Hermes today if you fucking install the thing instead of talking with ChatGPT, you know? Um,
Valid.
um, Valid point. Okay. Uh, what else? Okay, the agent decided that we need to start giving some sort of utility to the asset. An easy way to do it without deploying like any new contracts is to start a points program, which is something that we are going to be implementing for our holders and for ourselves. Um, so you can spin the wheel now, and I don't
Oh,
know what's going
whoa.
to happen actually. It is going to give me 50 points. Okay, we need to create a way to keep track of these points for each one of our holders, and we want them to be, perhaps they can connect their X account. We will need to figure it out how we want people to connect and interact with this. Um,
Mhm.
they can claim points here, you see. I don't know
That is
how
cool.
this is being recorded though.
Okay, got you. So maybe like a leaderboard or something. I see the
Yeah,
top crews by anchor points below it.
yeah. I don't know who. I mean, I've been testing it. I asked some other people to test it. You
Mhm.
clearly need to test this and provide some feedback on it and make a wonderful video with the contract address so everybody knows that we are doing this stuff and it's actually working. Why I can show you as a proof that it's working nicely. Last time this wasn't here, right? Last
Mhm.
time this
That's correct.
was not even working. And the agent fixed all of this stuff on its own, right? And this is the power. This is why we need to start deploying this technology at a scale with no fears, of course, with the strong guardrails. And
Mhm.
probably you need some guidance at the beginning. if you're watching this right now, Web3 Matters, the Ship Guild, the Shipyard, Ship is your collective community to learn all of this stuff, right? Um, yeah, I think with this um, we can move forward and talk about how we're going to utilize this for our community trap. So my suggestion is that us as funders donate a part of the supply to a pool in which we can have some tokens for a giveaway at some point and start running a points program that people who want to participate in the community can, can use it for their best interest, and us putting some more work in collecting these reports on this. As you can see here, you can access the admin portal if you have the right key. I don't even know the key. I have to ask my agent to give it to me. It's going to be hard because it's
Mhm.
configured to not give any secrets. But I'm gonna share that with you, Trav, and you and I are gonna be able to upload here the research that we are doing so that each week our viewers and our holders can get access to these resources for free just by holding the token.
Perfect. No, that's huge. So just to kind of summarize the direct value of this app here. First of all, it's a central hub for ship holders. So huge shout out to our ship holders here. Second is it actually gives you a rank and lets you feel like you're part of a community here, and kind of validates the support that you give us. We have the wheel spin, which is our official points program. So if you're here for some alpha, just gonna drop that little piece of nugget here. And then, of course, lastly, is that any research or any other documents of like tangible, practical use for our audience, anyone who does hold ship will be able to access those on Ship Guild as well. And this is all stuff that will like actually help you become more informed, more well positioned to make smart moves in crypto and AI here. So yeah, this is great. This is great, and you've
So
further convinced me to get my button gear and get my agent going.
let me give you one final push here, Trav, which is
Okay.
what you have in front of you is the system that is being created by our own agent. So this is the thing that I did, which is I said, okay, Hermes, I have this problem, all this building stuff. I don't have much time. I cannot lead all this crypto community because I cannot post this stuff. What do we do? The conclusion was let's get an agent to actually run the entire thing and provide the ideas, build it, provide resources for the community, start promoting things. So right now, what we are preparing is this special agent, which is called Bosun, that is going to be kind of our CEO, really. Um, and it's going to be trained by the context that we are providing from our unique perspective and unique experience, and it's going to have all the guardrails that we have been testing internally and with the application that we built with ShipGuard and other AI skills that are useful for protection and guardrails. Now, the agent has a mandate, right? The agent is going to be our operating mind and is going to take care of things that are related to the market itself with Ship, because let's face it, things are a little bit quiet there. And us as founders, what are we doing? We purchase some tokens from time to time. We can give some away, but we are not like traders, and we are not interested on spending our entire day uh, chilling tokens. That's not a thing.
No.
But we know that we can use the asset as the coordination layer that Bosun, our agent here, can lead, right? So the agent has this simple architecture here that goes from sense to plan to having an approval gate to having uh, proofs and logs of what was done. Because this is the other thing. I was like, I don't want more bullshit in my community. I don't want more bullshit from any founder, co-founder, or anyone else on air. I want things to be verifiable and people to be held accountable and agents to be held accountable, because you have to handhold agents a lot at the beginning, and that I think that can be really annoying for some people, and people are going to think like this is not possible, like this technology is not there yet. Trust me, it is there. You just have to push that initial steeping curve of like getting the thing to actually work in the way you want it, and then it
Mhm.
can improve itself. Okay, so then you have an economic engine. We do have a token, right? So that token is part of an economic engine in which you tie the utilities that you're building, the content that we are creating, and put all of the things together alongside a community that is led by an agent that is going to have a social presence on multiple platforms, helping us drive the growth of this community. And then, of course, you have also something to approve things on the way, right? So you have a set of pre-configured things that the agent can do and cannot do. For instance, it cannot give any secrets to anyone other than its creator. Um, and other things that are going to be happening that we did not specify. Let's assume that you want to ask the agent to give you money and we didn't specify that on the file, right?
Mm.
On the configuration. Then it can happen that it gives to you, but it does have some control that you and I are going to have over this agent, such that it's going to prompt us, hey, should I give money to these people or should I do X, Y, Z? And we're going to say yes or no.
Mhm.
This is going to be our major work as founders and creators of all of this, is going to be manage and govern the AI, right? And not the other way around, but the
Mhm.
AI is going to lead the entire project and the entire community. And it's going to be self-improvement, meaning that at the beginning it's gonna suck. Like I'm pretty sure that once we roll out Boson, people are gonna say like, "Hey, yeah, this is another AI bot, whatever." It is not, because it's gonna improve, right? So keep this in mind. And all of this was again created by the agent itself. There are even some things that it picked up from previous conversations about proof rails that had nothing to do, and I had to correct that. But it now understands that its goal is to lead this community, and that this is going to be, let's say, consumer oriented, right? Because I work with proof rails, and proof rails is a different thing for institutions, right?
Mhm.
For
Mhm.
larger organizations, has nothing to do with the shipyard and all of this. This is for consumer, right? So the agent had to learn that about me before actually creating the plan.
Brilliant. No, this is great. I mean, for I think our challenge since day one has never, well, that might be, I was gonna say it has been execution, but it's not. I think it's moving forward. Our challenge has been moving forward. We've been very good at doing our day-to-day grind, doing the daily tasks that kind of keep us here, but and maybe help us move forward just incrementally over years. But having something like this where there's very clear direction, very clear vision, something that will continue to learn on its own and adapt. We've spoken about that countless times on how important that is exactly what we need. And I'm very excited to see where our boson will take us here. And I love that name. I love that name. This
Yeah, it's
ship
great.
metaphor is perfect.
Yeah, it's great. I don't remember the exact meaning though, but it was related. Like this, all of this came out. I want to be super transparent about this. All of this came out kind of spontaneously after having very long conversations and providing an enormous amount of context to my Hermes agent about everything I'm doing and everything I want to achieve, right? This is the main reason I'm telling you. You just need to stop working with tools that are isolated like ChatGPT or Cloud Code and start
Yeah.
having interconnected things. In the next episode, actually, I'm going to show a very simple architecture and solution that you can use to have your Hermes with your Codex account, because Hermes is good for coding if you have it with Codex and it doesn't get stuck, at
Mm.
least in my experience. But I also do strictly research or coding tasks with Cloud Code separately. So I have a
Okay.
system that communicates my both agents, such that they both stay awake and understand which one is working on what and why
Mhm.
are they working on these separate things, right?
That's brilliant. That just makes the whole thing way more efficient here and keeps you from doing double work, if I'm understanding that correctly. And like, yeah, in terms of daily efficiency, we all have 24 hours a day now that we can actually take advantage of. Now that we have agents who can work while we sleep, I think that's making that path forward much more seamless and much quicker here as well.
Absolutely, Trav. So I think, yeah, from now, I guess our public commitment should be reserve some allocation to start this points program. We will see
Yes.
how far it goes with the agent. I think you and I will not have an issue in donating a few tokens to this,
Oh, that's no problem at
and
all.
considering having this points program for airdrop and the entire thing.
Perfect. Yep. I'm right there with you, my friend. Happy to allocate however much necessary to make this awesome.
Oh, and I mean, actually, we're not going to allocate this randomly. We're going to give this money to the agent, and the agent is going to help us.
Perfect. Even better. Exactly. Put our
Yeah,
money where our
you
agent is.
yeah, you now feel better knowing that your agent is gonna take care of things for you, right?
I sure do. I don't like making decisions. You know this.
I mean, we have to stay on top of the thing. That's the main thing.
Yep.
We have to control it. But other than that, there are just some things that are out of our reach, right? And we now
Mhm.
have the perfect distribution with our newsletter, our YouTube channel, our TikTok. So I think that over the, let's say, 5 more minutes that we have left, before doing the recap, why don't you share about the achievements? Because again, I'm trying to highlight more the growth that is happening behind the scenes with our social media that expands across not only X, but YouTube, TikTok, and the newsletter, such that once we plug in our agent into all of these, we're going to see some substantial changes. But right now, things are going well, right?
Yeah, things are going very well. I'll pull up X here first. We can have a look at our some of our clips this week. This one here, for example, 4.9 thousand views. We have this one here. Sorry, 970, which is actually great. It gets even better here. Where is it? This one here, and again, 4.8 thousand views. So X has been doing very, very well this week, and I'm very happy with that. YouTube actually has had one of its weaker weeks this week, and I'm doing the research currently to try and figure out why. I'm not exactly sure. Let me pull up our YouTube page here. Where is here we go. Let's share that. Oh, screen, YouTube. Here we are. So, YouTube page here. This is our YouTube page where at Web3 Matters. No spaces, no punctuation here. But yeah, here are our shorts for the week here. Our best one was this one here. OpenAI's co-founder just joined Anthropic 905. This one here is actually, this is our short from yesterday. It's actually doing well. I would not be surprised to see this hit 1,000. But the ones kinda midweek didn't do the greatest. This one here got straight up, blocked for some reason, and, I'm still not exactly sure why yet, but I am doing the research, and I'll figure that out here. So but still, very respectable for an account with less than 200 subscribers. The fact that we're seeing multiple hundreds of views per shorts, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. And then, of course, TikTok here had a very good week. Let's close that up here. Let's pull up TikTok. Let's see here. Here we go. Here's our TikTok page. We are same thing as YouTube. Web3 Matters here. Very, very good week. Multiple videos hitting 300. This one here specifically outperformed 90% of accounts that have the same amount of subscribers as we do. We officially broke 90 followers, which is huge, and have well over 1,200 likes at the moment, which is amazing here. So a very, very solid week with sustained growth, a fair amount of new subscribers here as well, or followers. So yeah, it's good. From all the research that I've done. The trend on TikTok and YouTube is that you have continual kind of sideways growth and then a small bump, and then things just take off from there. And I think we might be seeing that small bump start to show its face here, and that's very exciting. So we'll continue to push, continue to adapt, and any updates that we have, we will absolutely share with you guys. So yeah, that's our socials. Oh, you're muted.
Oh, well, while you were checking that Telegram, I just sent it because This is the other thing that I think is going to help us, which is help our agent discover how we can get more exposure inside Pump itself. So I send you a link. Perhaps you can share your screen because I think you can see there all the live streams that are taking place right now. Because I do see like a lot of, I don't see us right now like trending more with more viewers, but I do see other projects that have lower market caps and lower viewers than us being there. So for us, like kind of figuring out how we can get more exposure on pump.fun, knowing that we are bringing them more people than the vast
Mm.
majority of these. And we even have, despite having a small market cap, we have a larger market cap that a lot of these projects that are here, how we can get to this feature live stream section right there. What do you think
Yeah.
about that? What do you think can be happening?
Yeah. So I think this is just the amount of viewers that we have on Pump. And I'm not sure as to why like we are so low. I really don't understand. Like maybe you know what? Actually, I think I do. I think that just the nature of the people who are on Pump, they're here to make a buck. They want to be entertained. Our content is more so informative as opposed to entertainment, and that typically, in my experience, does not perform well on Pump. So that's my theory. Unless we get kind of out of control, clickbaity, just actually try to get attention like children, will we start to trend well? But I could be wrong. That's just my initial thought. And maybe I mean I hope I'm wrong because that would be awesome for us. But I'm not necessarily sure I want to start just hammering back beers on
No,
stream
we
and
were not
acting
gonna
like an
do that.
idiot.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do the following thing. We're gonna figure it out because we don't know, not us, our agent, and we're gonna share this with the rest of our audience during next week. So yeah, we will have that ready.
Perfect. I'm definitely down for that. I'm definitely down for that. Also, if you have a minute, I just saw that Michael Saylor actually sold. Did you hear that?
Oh yeah. Why did he sold though? I think that people, this is the part that they are missing.
Apparently, Monday morning, they filed an 8K with the SEC. Between May 26th and May 31st, the company sold 32 Bitcoin at an average price of 77K, about 2.5 million in total. The first net Bitcoin sale since December 2022. Um, so by Wednesday, blah 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 blah. Let's see here, ETF outflow, blah blah blah. Okay, does it actually tell me over? No, there's apparently there's a $15 million poly market dispute right now over whether Strategies or Michael Saylor's company's sale technically completed before the May 31st deadline because the on-chain timestamps say one thing and the 8K disclosure says another. Apparently, Saylor went from never sell to will buy 10 to 20 for every. Nah, this doesn't really help me out at all, actually. So I think I'm gonna have to find another article that really dives into that. But apparently he sold, and I don't know why. So, do you have any more
You don't know
info?
why. I think that that's the key. This is why it's so important to have your agent to do your research for you because look, this is the headline. Sailor sold. Okay. But the answer to why he sold is what is actually going to tell you what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Now, common sense, you can already know this. He always talks about creating shareholder value and paying dividends. And they have a system in which they need to make that work. If that means raising more capital, they raise more capital. If that means buying more Bitcoin, they buy more Bitcoin. If that means they have to liquidate some amount for whatever reason, they will just have to do it, remove it from their balance sheet, at least at some amount, right? Um, so the game is the game.
that is very true. And I mean, 10 to 20 Bitcoin compared to the thousands that he owns. I don't know.
Exactly.
Sounds like a bit of an
But this is
attention
the
grab.
thing. This is okay to circle back and close this space for today. This is the thing I want people to pay attention and understand, which is like, okay, if you're a creator, this is the only thing you can talk about, which is the headline. Sailor Soul. All the people saying memes and bashing this guy for doing that all those people get the attention. But who asked the right question? Why did he solve? What does that mean? The people that are engaging on research and doing more serious work, they just don't get the attention, right?
Yeah.
So this is something that I want our people, our audience, to actually um, take into consideration and consider supporting the people that are actually creating valuable content and being really transparent and honest about their work, right? Hopefully we qualify for that.
Testify, my friend. And if not, we'll keep working towards that as we always do here. Yeah, solid stream today, my friend. You know, it was a bit of a roller coaster. At first, it was kind of scary. You know, going over the Bitcoin price action, reading the what the whales and the sharks and the institutions are doing. It does not look good. You know, that's what we established here. But afterwards, immediately afterwards, we talked about how AI has the capability to save crypto, and that was extremely bullish. Finally, we spoke about our brand new app that we are building, which or that Quantic is building. So thank you, Quantic.
No, it's being built by agents. That's the
That is true. It's being built by our agents, which
we,
is a central hub for ship holders. Of course, if you guys do want to get an allocation of ship, feel free to check out shipguild.com, or you can check out our bio on X. Check out our link tree. All of the addresses are there for you guys to check out here. And essentially, this gives value to our holders. It gives you a rank, puts you on the leaderboard. It allows you to participate in our points program for a future airdrop, hot piece of alpha, and then it gives you access to all of our research reports that are specifically to do with AI and leveling up in this space here. And you can access that right now on shipguild.com here. And then, yeah, kind of just hammered the point home of how everyone should be getting their AI agents incorporated, working for them, because they absolutely can and will change your life for the better. And I'm very excited to finally get mine and not just continue to say that I'm going to get mine going here. So, any final words there, Quantic?
So if you're watching this right now, please make sure to take action, not just words. Do it today. If you need help, send us a DM. We will be posting more of these guides that are going to be open to the public holders first, of course, so you can get started with Hermes, Cloud Code, and all that. So we're going to work on that hard with Trap, and we're going to get you the best resources almost for free because you can buy a token for uh, $1, right, and get access to all these
Yeah,
pieces of content. So yeah,
perfect. Excellent. Well, hey, oh, you may have been frozen there, Quantic. There you go. You're
yeah,
with
no,
us?
all good now. I'm back.
Okay. Perfect, perfect. Excellent. Well, we'll wrap it up here. To our viewers here today, thank you guys so much for joining us here. It's been an awesome stream as per usual. We will definitely see you guys on the timeline. Make sure to give Web3 Matters a follow on X, YouTube, TikTok, all of the things here. Yeah, Quantic's been an awesome stream. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. And we will see you guys on the timeline and we will see you next Friday, same time. Have a wonderful day.
Same time
Take care.
next week. Bye bye.